Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I feel like I say that all the time, but I'm here, I'm back, and I have a fun video for you. Maybe fun, I don't know, you decide. Some of you have been asking me on my Instagram and in the comments of my YouTube videos how I stay motivated to go to the gym. As you might know, I've been going to the gym very regularly for the last 2 years. I have a whole health journey video up on my channel. I'll link it down below if you haven't seen it. In the beginning, it was really hard for me to stay consistent. It wasn't fun for me to go to the gym. I felt really lethargic. I had to make sure that everything was in a certain way just so that I could get up the motivation to go to the gym. These days, thankfully, the gym is my happy place. It makes me feel so good. I literally wait to go to the gym at the time that I've set for myself. Like, I'm so excited for it, almost like it's my fun outing for the day. So I'm really grateful to be in that mind space now for movement for my body. And I remember very vividly it not being that way. And so I thought that it could be fun to tell you guys some of the ways that I stayed motivated in times where it just wasn't as fun for me to go. I also want to put a disclaimer. These tips are just if you want to bring movement into your life, into your body, and you're finding it difficult to stay motivated to do so. The gym is not the only place that you can move your body. This goes for going for walks with your dogs, going for walks with your kids, maybe going for a hike, doing a little stretching, literally anything that involves moving your body, however that feels good for you. These motivational tips help. And I've been there as well. I've been in the place where I just don't even want to leave my house, quite honestly. And these tips have helped me. Some of these tips have helped me in those cases as well. So some of these might not work for you. Some of them may work for you, and you can pick and choose as you like. And without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first thing that helped me when it was really hard for me to go to the gym was to tell someone. This kept me accountable to somebody other than myself. For some reason, my personality type is like, I will do everything for someone else before I will do it for myself. If I have work to do that only impacts me, I'll do your work first. I'll do what you need me to do first before I help myself. And I'm like that in most aspects. So I found that telling you guys on Instagram that I was going to the gym helped me stay accountable to that. Telling my friends, telling my boyfriend at the time, literally anyone that just knew that I was going to go to the gym. Not that they cared even if I didn't go, but it just made it so that somebody else knew I was going. And almost in my mind, if I didn't go, it was like, oh, I lied to that person, which isn't the case. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to the gym later today. But it just helped me stay accountable to it. If I suddenly was feeling a little bit less inspired by the time that I said I was going to go, then I just knew, oh, they already know I'm going to the gym. I'm just gonna go. This also creates the opportunity for a little bit of like a cheer squad, you know? If you then text them later and say, ugh, I don't wanna go, they can then be your cheerleaders and say, oh, just go, you're gonna feel so good afterwards, blah, blah, blah. If you have that conversation and that relationship with that person where they know it's okay to cheerlead you in those moments, they can kind of be your backup as well. My second piece of advice is drink a little caffeine. This is not the case for everyone. Some people really don't like drinking caffeine. It doesn't go well with their system. It can give you anxiety. Drinking too much caffeine can have really adverse health effects. If this is something that helps you bring a little pep into your step, this has helped me in some situations. There were times where it was 3 p.m. and my morning coffee had worn off and I just made a half a cup of coffee and then I had enough energy to go to the gym. Ideally, I want to have enough energy to go to the gym just on my own, but sometimes, you know what I mean? We need a little help, okay? I take a lot of help these days. I drink quite a bit of caffeine. I take a little bit, maybe too much caffeine into my life, some may say. But there's worse things in my opinion, okay? There's worse things. Drinking a little bit of coffee, having a green tea, having a green juice, anything that brings you a little bit of revitalization, generally for me has helped spark the initiative to get up, go to the gym. Number 3 is music. If you are someone who is really motivated by music, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know. This is like, no, that's not friend. This is friend in sign language. If you are someone who is motivated by music, this is such a game changer for me. I've started dance parties before I go to the gym. Before, I would just like trudge myself into the gym, kind of like, dreading going. But I start my workout routine before I even leave the house now. I put on my pump up songs. I have pump up playlists that I just blast in the house. I text Sam, I say I'm gonna have a quick rave, is what I call it. So I blast the music for like 30 seconds. I get really pumped up to go. I dance in a mirror so that I'm like feeling myself and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna crush your workout today. And then I get in my car and I go. And on the way in my car, or if you take transit or you walk, whatever, I continue to blast the music. I'll be laying back like this and I'll be like, yeah, getting ready to go to the gym. Or I'll be like in a girl power mode and I'll be listening to Beyonce and Rihanna and I'll be like, I'm ready for the gym. Music is huge for me. I listen to music the entire time that I'm at the gym, probably a little too loud again. You want to make sure that you're not blowing your eardrums out. Tinnitus is real, okay? But music is huge for me. And I think that finding a really good playlist, the songs that actually inspire you and pump you up, can just make the hugest difference. I have found certain songs where if I'm trying to lift like really heavy for me, I put those on and then I'm like, and it makes such a big difference. So music is a huge one for me. My fourth piece of advice is setting a time limit for yourself. This is something that I had to start doing when I had really bad anxiety. And thankfully, with different lifestyle changes, I've been able to kind of quell my anxiety, keep it kind of at a bearable space for me. But that hasn't always been the case for me. So back when I was having really bad anxiety days, I would set time limits for how long I was going to allow myself to do nothing. And I say that in air quotes because doing nothing for me is a form of self-care. So this is me just lying in bed with my eyes closed but not sleeping, me daydreaming, being on social media if that's something that I feel is fun for me in that moment. I just set time limits so that I know, okay, I've scheduled this in. It's not giving me anxiety because I'm not just banging on the drum all day. I've actually scheduled this into my day, but at this certain time, I'm going to get up and go to the gym. For instance, it's 4 o'clock. I'm not feeling super motivated. I just want to lay in bed. I'll say, okay, you can lay in bed until 4:15. And then I wait until 4:15. 4:15 comes, I know that my time limit's up, and I get up and I get ready for the gym. Now, keep in mind, this is a tip that could cause you anxiety. Everybody is completely different. If this is a tip that just doesn't work for you, you feel anxious waiting for the time limit to be up, maybe skip this tip. But for me, it really works in keeping me on track and making me feel like, okay, I'm allowed to do nothing for a little bit. My fifth piece of advice is to get into a schedule. I try to go to the gym around the same time every day. I really believe in a schedule. I'm so bad at keeping a schedule, so this is a little bit hypocritical, but I know that when I am in a schedule, I feel so much better. Say schedule again, Alyssa. Schedule. I feel so much better with a routine. I like waking up at the same time every day. I like eating breakfast at the same time. I like having certain things I have to do and tasks to tick off, but my lifestyle, the work that I do, it doesn't always work that way. But I know that if I go to the gym around the same time every day, my body's ready for it, I'm ready for it. I know that that's already blocked off, and setting a routine can really help with the motivation long term. If you already know you go to the gym 3 times a week, your body just already knows it. You're used to that. It gets easier and easier to keep on that schedule the longer that you do it. It takes time and it takes patience and dedication to form a habit and to get into a routine. But when you do, it really can bring a sense of peace to your days. My sixth piece of advice is to eat well in the morning. When I say eat well, I mean eat something that makes your body feel good. And this can look completely different for everyone else. I don't feel good when I eat eggs, generally speaking. So I like to eat my carby toast with a little bit of protein with peanut butter and then a protein shake so that I'm getting kind of a well-rounded breakfast and it fuels my body, doesn't bloat me, makes me feel good, because then I can start off my day feeling good and I'm more likely to move my body when it already feels good. I love the Popeyes chicken sandwich. I love Subway. I love all of these different foods, but they actually don't make my body feel that good. So I know if I'm choosing to eat those foods, I'm probably not going to go to the gym after that because I just don't feel good. And it's not fun to work out when you don't feel good, when your stomach's like churning and you kind of just feel bloated and just all of these things. So I know that if I'm eating good for my body in the morning, I'm more likely to go to the gym in the afternoon. If you're someone that likes to work out in the morning especially, this is huge. Sometimes if I have a breakfast that doesn't make me feel 100%, by the evening, if I've eaten a lunch that makes me feel good, I'm fine to go to the gym. But if you're someone who likes to work out in the morning, eating good in the morning, good for your body, what makes you feel good, really helps with being able to go to the gym at that time. My 7th piece of advice is if you're someone who enjoys alcohol, which, listen, I loved alcohol, okay? I no longer drink alcohol, but if you're someone who still enjoys alcohol, I recommend that you don't drink alcohol the night before you want to go to the gym. I remember it very clearly. Even if I was just drinking a couple of cocktails the night before, I would wake up and not feel as energized, not feel as ready to move my body. My body just felt sluggish. I was maybe a little bit dehydrated from the alcohol the night before. So if you're someone who enjoys having casual cocktails with friends, whatever, a glass of wine with dinner, I would recommend seeing how it feels for your body drinking that glass of wine or those cocktails the night before and then going to the gym the next morning, and then try it without. If you don't feel any difference, perfect, not a thing for you. But if you do feel a difference and you feel like you're way more motivated to go to the gym in the morning the night before you didn't drink alcohol, if that makes sense, then it's something for you to look at. And it's something you can do in preparation for the gym the next day. So if you're someone who goes to the gym 3 times a week, you can still have your cocktails, your wine, the rest of the 4 days of the week, if that makes sense. And my 8th piece of advice, don't overwork yourself. This one is huge. You might wonder why this is in motivation, but I'll tell you. I think I stole this from Jenna Marbles so long ago, but I do. I have the too much gene. I want to do something and I want to do it 100% and I want to do it right now. That is something that I've had to work at my whole life. And I feel like I have a good grasp on it now. If you overwork yourself, you will be sore. And when you're sore, you don't want to move your body. I watched this clip recently that actually really made sense to me as well. And the person on the podcast, I wish I could remember what it was, but it was just like a scrolling, fleeting moment for me. But the person was saying they don't ever work to their maximum. They never work as absolutely hard as they can. And for some people, this doesn't make sense to you and you want to always go to failure, and that's completely fine. And that's for you. But hear me out for a second. What they were saying is that if they're always going to their maximum, they're always going absolutely as hard as their muscles can train, and their muscles need to regenerate and feel better. The next day when they wake up, they're going to be sore and they won't be able to work out the next day. They won't be able to move their body the next day. They are only able to move their body maybe 50% of the week because they're spending so much time in recovery. Whereas if you're only working to 75%, 50% even, however much you can do to not feel sore the next day, you're able to go more consistently. This also helps you build a routine. You're not always feeling sore, so you don't dread going to the gym or going for your hike or whatever movement you're wanting to do. And this makes so much sense to me because we generally don't like doing things that make us feel bad. Our bodies remembers what that place did to us. We have so much sensory recall. So if the gym is always something that your body is feeling sore at, your mind is going to be like, no, let's not go there. That's not fun. Or on a hike or wherever. I always go back to the gym because that's my preferred way to move my body. But whatever your movement is, whatever feels good for your body and brings you joy in your life. But it makes so much sense to me. And so that is why I no longer overwork myself. If I do, I know that it's because I'm doing it kind of for fun. Sometimes I like taking on these like crazy workouts just to see if I can do it, but I know that I'm going to relax my body for the next couple days, and I know that I'm going to be a little bit more sore, and I also take the proper recovery. But when I first started out, I didn't necessarily understand how to recover properly, and I didn't have the same schedule and motivation and mindset that I do now, and so it was a lot harder for me to get up in the morning and be like, oh, this again? I have to go and make myself feel like crap again. So not overworking yourself is a huge one for me. Take it one step at a time, just doing 1% better every day. That's what my coach says to me, 1% better, fail forward. I love these like little, what are those called? People make fun of what they're called. Oh, Sam would know if she was here. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. But I love that. I love the 1% better. Again, like I said in my health journey video, when I first started on the Stairmaster, which is my favorite cardio, when I first started, I could do 2 minutes on the Stairmaster, and that was my all out 100%. And now I can do 30 minutes pretty, I'm sweating, okay? I was gonna say pretty easily, but like, it's not my max, but it's like, I'm tired, you know what I mean? And I got there by doing 1% better every day, just trying to beat my yesterday self just that little bit, but that works for me. So don't overwork your body, don't overdo it. Honor your body, honor what it's telling you. If it's telling you to slow down, slow it down. Allow yourself the grace and the time to get to where you want to be. Those are my tips for motivation for the gym or moving your body. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope some of these work for you. Let me know if you try any of them out. I love hearing about what you guys are doing and chatting with you in the comments. So say a hello to me down there and subscribe if you haven't to my channel. I put out videos very haphazardly, but I do love checking in with you guys when I do. And other than that, I will see you in my next one.